Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Diana. If you're new here, and if you're not new, welcome back. I'm really excited to do today's video because I actually have not filmed any like book videos in a while, and I really enjoy making like reading vlogs or what I read, etc. So today is Monday and it's super gloomy and ugly day out, honestly, and I woke up in like the worst mood possible and I was like, I'm not gonna do anything today. And then as the day kind of progressed, I went to the gym, I had a really good workout, I had a really good breakfast. I was like, you know what, today is the day that I'm gonna actually sit down and film those sit down videos that I've been putting off. So here we are. I have a cold brew at the ready and I have a huge stack of books sitting next to me. I figured I would film my TBR for June slash however many books that I can possibly get through this month. I will say I have set some lofty goals in terms of reading. I set a goal earlier this year to read 50 books, and honestly I think I'm at like 27, something around there. And for the last maybe like month and a half, I've definitely been slacking because I just have not been focused on reading lately, and I really want to change that. So I figured if I set a very like lofty goal this month to read a lot of books, then I would kind of catch myself up and maybe even push my goal of reading 50 books to 75. We'll see. I'm gonna turn the AC on. I have a good amount of fiction and non-fiction that I'm planning on reading, so let's just jump right in. Okay, so first and foremost, I actually started this book this month. It's called The Truth About Everything by Brianna Wiest, and I love her writing. There's a fly in here. I love her writing. She's such a good author, and I have her other book. It's called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way That You Think, and I loved that book. It was beautiful. It was so well written. There is literally like the biggest fly in here. How do you get it out? I cannot stand flies. Oh, I think it went out. Anyways, back to this book. So, no, it's still in here. I think it's whatever. Anyways, I started reading this book this month and so far it's been really good. I'm highly enjoying it. It's just kind of like her thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna read you the back of it. Life is an uncertain morphing of the beautiful and devastating, the reckless and ordained, the inconsequential and cataclysmal. In this first compilation of her work, Brianna Wiest writes about her own experiences uncovering life's greatest truths. The selected pieces are ones you'll turn to when you're in need of answers, comfort, or a little tough love. Brianna writes from a place of solace and understanding. As The Truth About Everything asks you to challenge what you thought to be true, take the spiritual journey and come out on the other end with your own story to tell. I think that's super interesting. I'm really into books like this that kind of just like make you think and wonder and contemplate. So very excited to continue diving into that. The next book that I'm pretty excited to read is actually Think and Grow Rich. I've heard so many good things about this book. I purchased this book so long ago, and I'm just that type of person where I will continue buying books that I keep hearing about or seeing, and I'll forget about it and I'll keep reading the latest thing, if that makes sense. So I really want to catch up on this, start reading it, and it's one of the best-selling success books of all time, so very excited to read that. Let's do a fiction one. So I actually started this already. It's the Hunting Wives. I got this a really long time, or like a couple of months ago, from Book of the Month, and I started it and just have not finished, so I'm hoping to finish it this month. It sounds very interesting. I'm gonna read it to you. So Sophie O'Neill left behind an envy-inspiring career in the stressful competitive life of big city Chicago to settle down with her husband and young son in a small Texas town. It seems like the perfect life with a beautiful home in an idyllic rural community, but Sophie soon realizes that life is now too quiet. Then she meets Margot Banks, an alluring socialite who is part of an elite clique secretly known as the Hunting Wives. Sophie is completely drawn to Margot and swept into her mysterious world of late-night target practice and dangerous partying. As Sophie's curiosity gives way to full-blown obsession, she slips further away from the safety of her family and deeper into this nest of vipers. When the body of a teenage girl is discovered in the woods where the Hunting Wives meet, Sophie finds herself in the middle of a murder investigation and her life spirals out of control. As I'm reading this, I'm wondering why the heck I stopped reading it, because it sounds really, really good. So I'm very excited to finish that. Next is another nonfiction book, and I've heard so many good things. I bought this so long ago. I'm just very into finances lately. I'm very into growing my business and all of that. So I kind of just want to learn from the best right now. So that's why I'm kind of reading a lot of nonfiction books like this. Really excited to read this. It's highly rated. You guys have probably seen it everywhere at this point. So definitely excited to start this. The next book I actually am so excited to read because The Skinny Confidential actually talked a lot about this book, and it's called Deep Work by Cal Newport. I've actually read or listened to several podcasts that mention this book, and it's all about how to fly though. It's all about the rules for focused success in a distracted world, and I'm really interested in this concept because I feel like the majority of people could actually get so much more done in life if they just learned how to actually focus and apply themselves to the work that they're doing as opposed to everything else that they're doing, if that makes any sense. So I think that it's going to be very helpful. Next, we've got a beautiful fiction book that I actually pre-ordered months ago. It came on June 1st. I started reading it yesterday, and it's Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am so it's so beautiful already. I'm not even that far in, but yesterday as I was reading it on the balcony, it was so, I don't even know how to explain it. Like reading about Malibu when you're only a few miles away from Malibu, it's crazy. It's beautifully written. Taylor Jenkins Reid is just an incredible author. I aspire to be like her one day, but I wanted to read you just a snippet of it. It's Malibu, August 1983. It's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of summer party, and anticipation as at a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel, brothers Jay and Hud, one a championship surfer, the other a renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the offspring of the legendary singer Mick Riva. It just sounds like right up my alley personally, and I feel like it would be the perfect summer read. And just this book cover, I literally told Mihai yesterday, I'm like, I'm buying a surfboard and I'm learning how to surf. I do not care anymore. I've been wanting a surfboard for the last year. Now I'm officially gonna do it. So very excited to finish this. I think I'm definitely gonna invest an hour or two of reading into that book today. And then I have a couple more nonfiction books. This one is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'm sure you guys have seen this around. It's very well known. It's supposed to be really good. I purchased it a while ago and just have not honestly started reading it. So very excited to do it because I feel like there's a lot of value in this book. He talks about his journey, about how he went from $40,000 per year and 80 hours per week to $40,000 per month and 4 hours per week. It's just like kind of like how deep work is. I'm trying to identify and figure out ways to make myself more effective when I work and more present when I work as opposed to how distracted I am, if that makes sense. So very excited to read this. Got a couple of fiction books next. I have 2 Colleen Hoover books, and I actually just recently finished a Colleen Hoover book. It was called Layla. It was super good, and I picked up 2 more by her. This one is called It Ends With Us, and I'm super excited. Colleen Hoover is just one of my new favorite authors. Ever since I read Verity and Ugly Love, I just have a very big appreciation for her. So this book is about sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. I feel like this will just be a really fun read, and I do read a lot of nonfiction, so I feel like tossing in some simple, fun fiction books. I just need to do that for myself. And then the next Colleen Hoover book is Regretting You. And it's just called Regretting. No, it is called Regretting You. It clearly says you. Morgan Grant and her 16-year-old daughter Clara would like nothing more than to be nothing alike. Morgan is determined to prevent her daughter from making the same mistakes she did by getting pregnant and married way too young. Morgan put her own dreams on hold. Clara doesn't want to follow in her mother's footsteps. Her predictable mother doesn't have a spontaneous bone in her body. Just a little tidbit, but this seems interesting. I feel like I'm never let down by Colleen Hoover, so I think it'll be really good. And then one more fiction book, another Taylor Jenkins Reid novel. I've had this for months and I just did not finish it. Like I said, I will start a book, I will buy a new book, and I will start reading the new book and forget all about the other one. And I really need to change that about myself, but I'm sure you guys seen this around everywhere. I'm so excited to actually finish it because all of the reviews and all of the things that I've heard that people have said about this book have been positive. But in the case that you have not heard about this book, let me give you a little description. Reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to LA in the 1950s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course, 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. I'm so excited to read this. I actually feel like cuddling up with this book right now in this gloomy weather would just be perfect. Last but not least, I have some nonfiction. I got this recently and it was because of the Skinny Confidential. I already know about Ryan Holiday. I think that he's an incredible writer and I listen to his podcast, The Daily Stoic, and I have his book, The Daily Stoic, that I like to read every morning, but I have not yet read his books. There's 3 of them. The one that I really want to focus on this month is Stillness is the Key, but I feel like I should just aim to read all of them. So that's gonna be my goal, but I want to kind of talk about Stillness is the Key. Stillness. All the philosophies of the ancient world, from the Stoics to the Buddhists to the Confucians to the Christians, spoke of it as the most powerful force on earth. It's the ability to slow things down, to clarify your thinking, to center your soul, to direct your effort, to be steady while the world spins. Stillness is the secret to elite performance, to leadership and creativity. It's the peace that makes room for happiness. It is the key to everything that matters. The question is, how can you find it? And what would be possible if you did? This is just, my heart is like giddy to read this book. I'm really, really excited. I think it's gonna be really good. So that is my June TBR, and I know for a fact that it's going to spill over to July, but I have been really, really enjoying reading lately. I feel like I'm just I go through phases where sometimes I'll read like crazy, and then sometimes I just will not read at all. And I feel like I'm in that phase right now where all I want to do is read. Plus with summer here, basically, it's just the perfect time to read because all I like to do is sit outside, go to the beach, and read while I tan or whatever. So anyways, that is my TBR. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Let me know if you have any book recommendations. Please drop it down in the comments down below. And if you guys like any of these books, let me know which one you're gonna try to read. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.